friends, my name is Sophia. I'm the designer behind the binding stitch, and I'm going to be teaching y'all 365 stitches by the end of 2026 in my A Stitch a Day series. The family of stitches that we're beginning with are the tent stitch family. Yesterday we did the continental stitch. Today we're learning the basket weave stitch. All the tent stitches look the same from the front. The difference between them is durability. So basket weave is the most durable. It does use the most thread though. So basket weave is a stitch that goes on the diagonal. It is important when you secure your thread or use a waist knot, you do it either on a horizontal or vertical. You do not do it along the diagonal. And when we're stitching along the diagonal, it is important to know your intersections. So as you can see, the canvas is woven. In some areas it has the thread on top going vertically, and on others it has it going horizontally. Horizontally, they're called steps, and when it goes vertically, it's called a pole. It's very important that you are a firefighter and not a midnight ballerina. You go down the poles, not up them, okay? It does not matter where your first stitch is, but it does matter where your second stitch is. So I went ahead and put my waist knot in my first stitch. And so I'm gonna look at the intersections that are down and to the left of my first stitch, and we can see that those are steps, right? So because they're steps, I'm going to start underneath my first stitch, going from the southwest to the northeast, and then I'm going to come over to the one to the left of my first stitch, southwest to northeast. Now, if we look at the intersections that are to the left and down of the last stitch that we did, we're going to see those are poles. So we're going to go to the left. And we're going to start in the southwest to northeast. Now, with continental, I told you that it was completely okay to stitch out of a dirty hole. That is not the case for basket weave. For basket weave, it's very important that you're stitching out of a clean hole. If you're stitching out of a dirty hole, you're doing something wrong, and you need to reevaluate. Okay? So now we're gonna look at the intersections below and next to our last stitch, and we're gonna see those are steps, all right? These diagonals alternate, so you'll always be going up, down, up, down, up, down. But if you lose track of what you're doing, look at the stitch below and next to your last one. That's gonna reorient you, okay? And this also helps with compensating. So southwest to northeast. You will always be doing basket weave southwest to northeast. One of the reasons that it's so important to be going southwest to northeast and on the diagonal with the steps going up and the poles going down is because the way that the canvas is woven, if you go up the poles and down the steps, or you go from, say, the southeast to northwest, you'll have significant warping in your canvas. And that means you have to block your canvas, which is where you have to try and stretch it at the end. So it's best to make sure your canvas does not get warped. And basket weave does that while also being a very durable stitch. So just like with continental, it's a good idea to let your thread hang every once in a while. So we're going back down the poles. And let's say that the area that we're stitching was only 4 stitches tall. You don't have to keep going all the way, right? So I can just go to the left here and make this into a rectangle. So then we'll flip our canvas over and you'll see that it has a basket-like look to it where you have some that are going across and some that are going up and down. Now to secure our thread, I'm going to just go up like this. It's important to not go on the diagonal, and then we will just snip our thread, and then we can even snip our waist knot. And there you have a nice, tidy Basketweave rectangle. Now, when you're trying to determine the difference between Basketweave and Continental, you'll see that they look the same from the front. Here's the back Basketweave, here's the back of Continental. You can see where we went left and right and up and down. See the difference? They look the same from the front and different from the back. Thank you guys so much for watching day 2 of A Stitch a Day, and I'll be back with y'all tomorrow where we're going to learn half cross stitch.